Here's a story from Grandpa for my three favorite little girls, Emma, Ayla, and Audrey. All of you by now know that I love plants, trees in particular, but all plants. In this story, a boy thought that the classroom plant was really boring, but he discovered that the plant was a lot more interesting than he ever knew it could be. The story is The World's Best Class Plant. Written by Liz Garton Scanlon and Audrey Vernick, illustrated by Lenore Bontegeo. Room 107 had a cockatiel. Room 108 had a chinchilla. Even the art room has a bearded dragon. But in room 109, Arlo's classroom, there is a plant. A mostly green, hardly growing, never moving plant. Instead of doing fun class pet stuff, shredding the newspaper bedding, filling the food bowl, cradling the creature carefully and passing it around their morning circle, Arlo's class took turns watering. Sometimes they forget, because it doesn't squeak or whistle or whimper. It's just a plant. Mr. Boring, not his real name, says the plant is more than enough excitement for us. Arlo thinks Mr. Boring doesn't know what excitement means because this plant is about as exciting as a thumbtack or cornflakes or the sidewalk. Arlo wishes it was exciting. He wishes room 109 had a silly but trusty companion instead of a blob in a plastic pot on a windowsill. He wishes someone to hold and whisper secrets to and love. One morning, Arlo raises his hand and announces, "We should name our plant." "Yes, Bish's Vine Noodle," says Miriam. "Francisco the Fourth," says Sylvie. "The Green Blobster." Otis barely gets his suggestion out before Mr. Bummer, not his real name, says, "What about Jerry?" Arlo opened his mouth to protest, but when he looks at the plant, he realizes Mr. Bummer is right. The plant is Jerry. Everyone agrees. Something about naming the blob made it more interesting. All of room 109 rushes over to sing Jerry's praises and add jobs to the chore chart. Bring Jerry home for the weekend. Sweep up dropped leaves. Turn Jerry toward the light. As the day passes, strange things happen. Jerry gets greener and longer and twistier. In fact, Jerry gets so green and long and twisty that he outgrows his plastic pot. Kids come to school bursting with the stuff they've learned, like it turns out Jerry is a spider plant, and if you water him too much, you can kill him. And, this is unbelievable, Jerry makes little baby Jerrys. They're called spiderettes. You can cut them off and you'll plant them into whole new plants. Don't try to do that with a cockatiel or a chinchilla. One morning, when it's Arlo's job to do the misting, he's pretty sure he hears Jerry breathe. No, not breathe, more like whisper. "I know, Jerry," Arlo whispers back. "Everybody likes feeling special." When room 109 asks if they can have a Jerry Appreciation Day, Mr. Patient, not his real name, says yes. Talk about exciting. They plan leafy costumes, green snacks, watering can races. The word spreads, of course. The kids from room 107 ask to trade their cockatiel for Jerry. No way. Room 108 wants their chinchilla to meet Jerry. What if the chinchilla eats Jerry? No way. Everyone wants to come to Jerry Appreciation Day. Everyone should get to know Jerry, says Maya, with his fine green leaves and surprising twists, say Sylvie and LeVar. And just his, Arlo reaches his arms out wide. There are no words to express the greatness of Jerry. So, Jerry Appreciation Day goes school-wide. And if you look in the illustration, you can see that they have a photosynthesis with Jerry place where you can get your photos taken. There are the watering can races. There are the snack green place. and take a look at some of the other things that you'll see there, including the costume content, to see who can look the most like Jerry. It's glorious and spectacular and joyous, but wow, the kids in room 109 are whooped by the end. Jerry really is as much excitement as they could handle. They're relieved when everyone goes back to their classrooms and they have Jerry to themselves again. For the rest of the year, they mist and fluff and turn and love their class plant. Then, on the last day of school, when it's time to say goodbye to Jerry, Mr. Perfect, should be his real name, says, "You each get to take home a baby Jerry of your very own. Have a great summer." When Arlo's next year teacher, Ms. No Nonsense, not her real name, offers up a rock as the class pet, Arlo remembers how Jerry used to be a mostly green, hardly growing, never moving plant before Mr. Smart, actually his real name, let them name him. So Arlo picks up the rock and examines it closely. He turns it over and feels the weight of it in his hands. He really gets to know it before whispering quietly, "Brenda, is that you?" At the end of the book, it says, "So you're ready to raise a plant of your own." Not every plant can have the greatness of Jerry, but every ordinary plant can provide you with a whole lot of love and nature. Plus, you can learn a thing or two about seeds and roots and stems and soil as you care for your green pal. Just as you wouldn't put a penguin in the desert unless you were writing a fantastic story, you wouldn't want to put a cactus, say, in the rainforest. Some plants need some sun, others need a lot of water, and still others are always outgrowing their pots. Which one is right for you? Then I'll let you read the rest of these, but it talks about maybe the lucky bamboo, the friendship plant, the fiddle leaf fig, and of course the spider plant, which is what was in our story here. And that's the end of the story. When I was about 20, there was a phase about people adopting pet rocks. It didn't last very long because rocks just aren't very interesting, especially when kept in a box. Plants, though, are alive, and if you take care of them, they can be very interesting. I've got 10 inside plants in my office and many, many more outside in my gardens. I spend a lot of time taking care of them, and I know that they can appreciate it. Always remember that Grandpa loves you way more than a pet rock, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.